The Indiana Fever faced off against the Chicago Sky in a blowout victory.
And going in on the Chicago Sky.
They're not going to be pushed around anymore. Even in the midst of all the talk yesterday, you know, you have a Sophie Cunningham, you have a Natasha Howard, and you have a DeWanna Bonner. There's a level of credibility. There's a level of toughness.
Caitlin Clark, in the post-game interview, she made it a point to say, this is not like, please don't blow this out of proportion.
It was billed as a showdown. Indiana Fever versus the Chicago Sky. The new queen versus the self-proclaimed one. Media flooded timelines with hype. Fans marked their calendars. This wasn't just another game. It was supposed to be a battle for the soul of the WNBA's next generation. But what happened next wasn't a rivalry. It was a rout. A generational torch wasn't passed. It was snatched, torched, and used to light up a dynasty in the making.
She currently funked herself with Charlotte Webb after she shared a post last night of pretty much somebody congratulating her and going in on the Chicago Sky.
From the opening whistle, it was clear. One team came to play chess, the other came with checkers. And in this cold war of composure versus chaos, Indiana Fever dismantled every narrative, every smug prediction, and every inch of swagger that Angel Reese and the Sky brought with them. Dana Bonner, the veteran, wasn't here to mentor. She was here to remind. Caitlin Clark, the phenom, wasn't here to prove. She was here to execute. Together, they authored a 93-58 masterclass that didn't just silence critics, it rewrote the script.
Angel Reese, part 32, let's get it! This ain't LeBron, this is butter pecan! Bang! They want to put her at point forward this season. They want her making plays, because she a playmaker! Bang! That Angel Reese hit a buzzer beater, you gotta check this out! 3, 2, 1, bang! Who cares they lost by 35 points? At least she got her 17 rebounds! Hey Ma, you got a receipt for this Barbie? I think this one's broken! Send it back! Bang!
If you thought this was just another WNBA game, you missed the bigger picture. This was dominance, not just in numbers, but in presence, strategy, and execution. The Fever played like they had something to prove and everything to gain. Dana Bonner looked like she circled this date with a red pen and wrote redemption in capital letters. Caitlin Clark? She played like the hype wasn't hype. It was homework, and she turned in her assignment early.
They make it a hate thing. Like, they make it a hate train. It's like, no. I'm telling you, if I was the coach or the owner, we forfeit in every game. Either we forfeit and Angel will not be in attendance.
Angel Reese fans is calling race, like they're sparking a race war on Twitter right now, and it's starting to get national attention. They're attacking white fans, black fans.
Before we go further, let's talk about the play you can make. This channel dives deep, cuts through the noise, and brings you the layered stories that mainstream coverage glosses over. If you're still watching, chances are you're not here for fluff. You want the full picture. So take a second, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and drop a comment with your thoughts on this Fever Sky clash. Your interaction doesn't just help the algorithm. It helps keep this level of coverage alive.
For good position.
Clark pulls deep one left wing.
Caitlin Clark is her. Natasha Howard able to lay it in. To Boston, her jumper is good.
You know, I think we have a group that's much like the Pacers. We've got a lot of great balance.
Still on the bounce. 3 seconds to go in the half. Caitlin, left wing, off balance, 3. Got it!
Caitlin connects ahead of the halftime buzzer. She is 1 of 1.
What we witnessed wasn't just a game. It was a message. The Fever aren't here to play background music while other teams dance. They're here to take center stage. And on this night, they didn't just take the stage, they stole the show.
DeWanna Bonner, man, Indiana Fever on became the 3rd all-time WNBA leading scorer in history.
Caitlin Clark looks like she's going to be the MVP of the league. Angel Reese made a fool out of herself, and we won by 100, and I won. So we're back in the good mode, back in the winning. Yesterday was tough for the Celtics, but we're back, baby, and it all starts with who? CC, 22, Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark didn't just play well, she made history. In her WNBA season opener, she dropped a jaw-dropping triple-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. That alone would have been enough to own the headlines. But it was the way she did it that turned the performance into folklore. No chest thumping, no viral celebrations, just pure, calculated basketball. the kind that writes legacy in real time.
She had as much passion for basketball as she did for her hate for Caitlin Clark. Gonna get up, scream in her face. You know, you should be thanking her, because you would have missed another wide-open layup. They say, but don't lie. Oh, she gonna cry. Wah, wah. 35% from the field. Trash. She had 5 turnovers. Trash. There are living human beings that breathe, that enjoy this kind of basketball. To the psych ward you go. Burn. It's like driving by a car wreck. I can't help myself. I can't stop watching. Burn.
Her vision on the court was absurd. She wasn't reacting to plays. She was predicting them, crafting them, executing them like a symphony conductor in sneakers. And when Angel Reese tried to bait her with drama, Clark didn't bite. She didn't need to. Her scoreboard did all the talking. Her decision to walk away, to offer silence in the face of chaos, wasn't weakness. It was savage. The message was clear. When you lead with numbers, you don't have to raise your voice.
Much like Donnie Carr, Angel Reese relies on the dramatics to generate attention, because just like Donnie, she can't maintain attention based on skill. And the attention-seeking behavior, it started immediately yesterday as Angel Reese and the Chicago Bravado decided that they were going to disrespect the country by refusing to come out for the national anthem. She immediately loses her temper. She could not believe Caitlin Clark stole her moment. Angel Reese gets off the ground very slowly, because everyone seems to be moving in slow motion in the WNBA.
The Angel Reese fan base is full of toxicity right now because they is extremely embarrassed that Angel Reese came to Indiana and laid a goose egg.
Every possession she touched became a lesson in efficiency. A bounce pass through traffic here, a logo 3 there. Clark wasn't just running an offense, she was running a clinic. And the Sky? They were just the latest students to flunk the test.
Bonner, who knocks away. Cookies, TV, open court, right side, and she lays it in.
While Clark controlled the tempo, it was Dana Bonner who controlled the tone. With every drive, every defensive stand, she moved with a quiet fury, like someone who'd been overlooked for too long. And then came the post. Not a shot, not a pass. A now-deleted social media post that set fire to the WNBA internet. A subtle dig? Maybe. A direct shot? Probably. A message? Absolutely.
One more free throw for Bonner. It's in the air, and it's good. DeWanna Bonner now third in WNBA history in scoring. 7,489 points and counting. And here's the ovation for Bonner.
It wasn't just what Bonner said, it was when she said it. The timing was surgical, right after a blowout win. Right after Angel Reese had stumbled through a stat line that looked better on paper than in motion. Right after the Sky's bravado had been humbled. Bonner's post wasn't just a flex, it was a signature.
You know, DB is somebody that, you know, is a Hall of Famer, like a legend, not only a good basketball player, a great person, a great leader. You know, the strongest voice in our locker room is hers, and it's fun to have been around here now for about a month just to get to learn from her and soak it in, and I'm really happy she got to do it at the free throw line and all the fans could go crazy and cheer for her because she certainly deserved that moment, and it was really awesome to see and be a part of.
That's what separates great players from legends. Bonner didn't just drop buckets, she dropped narratives. And she did it all with the poise of someone who's been there before, because she has. And when she stared down Reese mid-play without a smile or celebration, it wasn't disrespect, it was confirmation. You're not ready.
So this is the post. I'm going to have to put allegedly on there because DeWanna Bonner deleted it. But allegedly, this is the post DeWanna Bonner put on X. And it stated, congrats to DeWanna Bonner. Chicago needs to get it together. People's kind of pointing fingers at DeWanna Bonner like, you know what? You shouldn't have shared that. She shouldn't have. She can share what she wanted to share. Now, I believe she later deleted this post. But, man. Watch this, bro. Watch this. Let's head on over to X, dog.
On paper, Angel Reese had a double-double. But if you watched the game, you saw something very different. You saw missed layups, forced shots, visible frustration, and a crumbling sense of control. From her first clunky drive to her last desperate foul, something was off. That trademark confidence? Gone. That magnetic energy? Flatlined. What was left was a player chasing relevance in a game that had moved on without her.
And DeWanna Bonner represents the old guard, if you will. Not that she's acted like the old guard or in any of the stereotypical ways that the old guard has been portrayed, but just because she is and has been a fixture of the WNBA, to the point where she became the third all-time leading scorer, obviously, in that game. And Bonner chose to go to the Fever, which surprised some folks, but shows you more so that it was a basketball-related decision. She knows it's a chance to win another championship. She knows it's a chance to, be a part of a great collective and group, a moment in time, a moment of support, and she expressed how much she was grateful.
When Clark fouled her late and Reese popped up with fire in her eyes, it could have been a turning point. Instead, it was a dead end. Clark turned her back and walked away. No taunt, no gesture, just distance. And it hurt. Because for someone like Angel, who thrives on reactions, silence is the deepest cut.
These people don't like anybody associated with Clark. Just ignore them. The people that they refer to is none other than the Angel Reese fan base, man. The Angel Reese fan base is full of toxicity right now because they is extremely embarrassed that Angel Reese came to Indiana and laid a goose egg. Now, granted, she did get a double-double, but a goose egg is a goose egg. And I'm telling you right now, she laid the biggest goose egg on national television.
Social media didn't hold back. Memes flooded timelines. Commentary threads turned into therapy sessions. And the verdict was swift. She's not that girl. What started as her game turned into her exposure. And the worst part? It wasn't the loss. It was the loss of narrative, of image, of mystique.
Well, the regular season is here, and we have no more time for flirting, folks. We have no more time. It's time to get serious about our business. And Caitlin Clark handled her business game 1. 20, 10, and 10. 20, 10, and 10. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, what did the kids say? Belt to ass. Oh yeah. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Indiana Fever destroy, obliterate, run out of the gym the Chicago Sky. 93-58.
If the court was hot, Twitter, now X, was scorching. Bonner's deleted post didn't disappear fast enough to stop the storm. Fans zoomed in on punctuation, analyzed emojis like they were decoding CIA documents. And as always, the clash extended far beyond basketball. Reese's fan base exploded in a firestorm of defensiveness, pushing race and rivalry into the headlines again.
The Indiana Fever just played their first game against the Chicago Sky, and folks, it was not close. It was not close. I remember my timeline being flooded with people saying it was going to be a good dogfight. It was going to be a close game. It was going to come down to the wire. It was going to be a great one. No, it wasn't. It was a 40-point blowout. And it was a great game on one side. On the other side, it was a little questionable. But we got to see Caitlin Clark in full force. We got to see the new and improved Caitlin Clark. I can't wait to break down the film in this video for you guys, man. She looked amazing. She had a triple-double, a 20-point triple-double. She shot it nearly 50% from the field. She shot it 50% from the 3, y'all. She had 4 blocks. The defense was there. The playmaking was there. The rebounding was there. Everything was there. She looked like the best player in the WNBA.
Threads turned into battlegrounds. White fans were accused. Black fans were attacked. And somehow, a basketball game turned into a referendum on identity, legacy, and everything in between. But at the heart of it all, one truth remained. Angel Reese wasn't ready for this moment, and the old guard had just reminded her of the price of spotlight without substance.
Pissed. Look at it. She was still going out there a little bit. Look, took the jersey out. Well, what's going on?
It wasn't just about plays anymore. It was about poise, control, maturity. And when the dust settled, only one team walked away with all 3. Bonner didn't just drop numbers, she dropped standards. And Clark didn't just run the game, she reshaped the conversation.
I thought Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were cool, but I don't know, man. The way Angel got up, she was like, Look at her. Ooh. I mean, she was getting after it, fam. Oh my goodness. Now, the funny thing was Caitlin Clark sniffing, walking away. Hold on, let me see if I can get a good angle. Yeah, look. watch Caitlin Clark's face right here. Watch this.
There's a difference between being in the spotlight and owning it. And on this night, Dana Bonner owned it. While Reese chased headlines, Bonner created them. While Reese tried to build a moment, Bonner embodied one. It wasn't personal, it was positional. The veteran wasn't mentoring, she was measuring, and Reese came up short.
There it is! A triple.
From the stare-downs to the viral quote tweets, Bonner held the pen. She didn't need interviews or rants. Every look she gave said what words couldn't. This is my court. And Caitlin Clark? She played like a co-author of the new WNBA era. Calm, lethal, inevitable. Reese didn't just lose the game. She lost the narrative. What started as her chance to prove she belonged became a front-row seat to her own irrelevance. And when Bonner snatched the ball and coasted in for that unbothered layup, that was the final edit. A full stop on Reese's unfinished sentence. In sports, people remember sound bites, explosions, outbursts. But sometimes the most brutal highlight is the silence. And that's what Caitlin Clark gave Angel Reese. After the hard foul, after the tension, after the glare, Clark didn't retaliate. She didn't engage. She just walked away. That moment, that pause, that choice not to respond, it echoed louder than anything else that night. It was dominance distilled. Because when you're truly in control, you don't need to bark. You just need to win. And Clark did, without ever breaking her focus. Reese puffed her chest. Clark picked her spot. Reese boiled over. Clark built a masterpiece. The scoreboard didn't just reflect numbers, it reflected clarity. And in that silence, Clark delivered the most savage message of all. This is how legacy handles noise. Let's call it what it was. A cinematic takedown. Not just a game, but a statement. The Indiana Fever didn't just play, they executed a hostile takeover. Caitlin Clark didn't just shine, she ascended. And Dana Bonner didn't just lead, she left a signature. One that says the WNBA is no longer about hype. It's about hierarchy. Angel Reese? She'll bounce back. She's too loud not to. But this time, the floor belonged to someone else. Someone colder, smarter, sharper. And that's the new WNBA. Less noise, more precision. Less talk, more truth. The torch didn't change hands. It was snatched midair. And before you click away, subscribe. Hit that like button if you want more storytelling that cuts deeper than the box score. And drop a comment. Who do you think owns the WNBA now? Because after tonight, one thing is clear, this new era, it's not coming. It's already here. And it brought fireworks.